I was sacked days before my $100,000 bonus after perfecting our fintech firm's data systems. Then they pleaded for my help to save their failing tech. My name is Matthew Ryan. For 15 years, I was the backbone of data analytics at Pinnacle Financial Solutions in Charlotte, North Carolina. I built algorithms that predicted market trends, optimized trading systems, and kept our error rates the lowest in the industry. But in one brutal morning meeting, Emily Carter, our new director, decided I was expendable. If you've ever been blindsided by betrayal at work, hit that subscribe button and share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you fought back. The announcement came during our daily stand-up, the hum of servers in the data center buzzing behind us like a swarm of angry bees. Emily stood at the front, her tablet glowing, her voice sharp and polished. "We're streamlining operations," she declared, her eyes skimming the room but never landing on me. "Some roles are no longer necessary." 30 pairs of eyes flicked toward me, not with pity, but with that awkward curiosity people get when they sense someone's about to crash and burn. I stood there, arms crossed, my coffee mug, the one my son painted for me in 5th grade, sitting on the table like a silent witness. "Pinnacle has partnered with quantum analytics for our data systems moving forward," Emily continued. "The transition starts today." 15 years. I'd spent 15 years fine-tuning our predictive models, writing code that turned chaotic market data into profit. I'd stayed late nights debugging crashes, trained junior analysts, and built systems so reliable our competitors couldn't touch us. And now, Emily, who'd been director for 6 months, was tossing me out like an outdated laptop. I didn't say a word. I'd seen others fight terminations, yelling, pleading, threatening lawsuits. They all left anyway, just with less dignity. I wasn't going to give Emily the satisfaction. I walked back to my desk, the fluorescent lights humming overhead. My coworkers avoided eye contact, their keyboards clacking louder than usual. I unplugged my laptop, packed my son's mug, a pair of spare earbuds, and a notebook filled with handwritten notes on our trading algorithms. Nobody asked what I was doing. Nobody offered a goodbye. Emily approached as I slid the last of my things into a cardboard box. "Your severance is fair," she said, pushing a folder across my desk. 2 months' pay plus your accrued vacation." I looked at her, her perfectly pressed blazer, her confident smirk. "Fair?" I repeated, my voice steady. The folder stayed untouched. "Matthew, this is the future of fintech," she said, glancing at her smartwatch. "Quantum's AI-driven analytics are cutting-edge, cloud-based, self-learning. Your models, they're legacy." I zipped my bag. "They'll figure out what they need," I said, referring to my algorithms. She didn't respond, just nodded toward the HR office. "They need to see you before you leave." I carried my box past the data center, its rows of blinking servers a testament to my work. Those systems ran on my code, custom algorithms I'd built from scratch, optimized to handle volatile markets. Emily was right about one thing: my models were old, but they were bulletproof. I'd designed them to adapt, to catch errors no AI could predict. And I'd documented the critical stuff nowhere but in my head and my personal notes. I started at Pinnacle when it was a scrappy startup, just 20 employees crunching numbers for local banks. Now we powered transactions for 10 major financial institutions, including 2 on Wall Street. Back then, Richard Hayes, the founder, hired me straight out of grad school. I'd shown him how to cut processing times by 25% without losing accuracy. "You speak their language," he'd said, nodding at the servers. "That's rare." For a decade, Richard let me shape our analytics my way. I wrote proprietary code for every major system, created error detection routines that kept our trades clean even during market crashes. When vendors stopped supporting old software, I patched it. When new platforms arrived, I integrated them seamlessly. After Richard sold Pinnacle to Apex Capital, a financial conglomerate, they kept me because my systems saved them millions. Why overhaul a platform when my code made it perform like the latest tech? Then Emily arrived, armed with an MBA and slick presentations about disruptive innovation. She never asked how our systems worked, never questioned why our error rates were half the industry average. To her, I was just a line item to cut. 3 months before the firing, I'd noticed quantum analytics reps touring the data center, snapping photos of our dashboards, asking analysts about workflows. I confronted Emily after. "Are we outsourcing?" I asked. She tapped her tablet, barely looking up. "Just exploring efficiency options, Matthew. Nothing to worry about." A week later, my admin access to the main servers was revoked. A glitch, IT said, restoring partial permissions. I could still do my job, but anything major needed Emily's sign-off. I mentioned it to Stephen Brooks, our team lead and the closest thing I had to a friend at work. We'd grab beers after shifts sometimes, talk about football or fishing. "Office politics," he muttered. "New boss needs a win. Keep your head down." That night, I backed up all my algorithm files and system notes onto my personal drive. Not company property, my intellectual work. The systems would run fine. Until they didn't. Until a trade misfired or a model needed recalibration. Those fixes lived in my head and my private files. The HR meeting was quick, 15 minutes of paperwork and awkward silences. Laura Mitchell, the HR manager, avoided my gaze as she explained benefits and took my access badge. She'd been with Pinnacle almost as long as I had. "Anything else you need from me?" I asked, signing the last form. Laura hesitated. "Actually, Emily suggested a short consulting gig. 2 weeks to help with the transition, paid at your current rate." I almost laughed. 2 weeks to unpack 15 years of expertise? "I'll pass," I said, standing. "But thanks." Laura nodded, her face unreadable. Walking out, I passed Stephen near the coffee machine. He broke away from a chat with another analyst and followed me to the exit. "This is bull, Matthew," he said quietly. "I told Emily you're the only one who gets these systems. Quantum's just a bunch of slick salespeople." I shrugged. "They'll learn." He glanced back at the data center. "What happens when the next market spike hits and the models crash?" "Not my problem," I said. Stephen shook his head. 15 years, man. You're just walking away?" I stopped at the glass doors. "What should I do, Stephen? Beg? Tell Emily she's wrong? You think that changes anything?" He had no answer. I clapped his shoulder. "I'll text you. Maybe we'll hit the lake this weekend." But I knew I wouldn't. Neither did he. I drove home in silence. No radio, just the hum of tires on asphalt. My house felt too big, too quiet. My son was at college in Raleigh, studying computer science, partly because he'd grown up watching me code. My wife and I had split 4 years ago. Irreconcilable differences, she called it. I called it long hours and missed anniversaries. I sat in my home office, opened my laptop. A notification popped up. Pinnacle Financial Solutions VPN disconnected. That's when it hit me. 15 years, gone in a single morning. All the nights fixing crashed trades, the weekends tweaking models during system upgrades, the pride in our error rates, best in the business. All disposable, according to Emily. I opened my personal drive, stared at the folders, trading algorithms, error logs, optimization scripts. My life's work. I had no plans to sabotage Pinnacle, but I wasn't handing this over either. They'd made their choice. They'll deal with the fallout. I grabbed a beer from the fridge, sat on my porch. For the first time in years, I didn't have to worry about a 2 a.m. system alert. I should have felt free. Instead, I felt a cold certainty. They'd call. And when they did, I'd decide what 15 years was worth. 3 weeks after Pinnacle Financial Solutions kicked me to the curb, I was casting a line into Lake Norman, the water still under a gray autumn sky. My severance checks arrived like clockwork. 2 months' pay plus vacation time, enough to keep the bills paid while I sent out resumes. Recruiters called, offering mid-level analyst roles at smaller firms, but I wasn't ready to jump back into someone else's grind. My LinkedIn profile buzzed with messages from old colleagues, guys I'd trained who now worked at rival companies. "Tough break, Matt," one wrote. "Pinnacle's loss." Nobody from the office reached out, not even Stephen Brooks, my fishing buddy and team lead. I didn't hold it against him. People move on when you're no longer part of their world. At home, I kept busy. I updated my portfolio, tweaked my resume, and spent afternoons in my garage tinkering with a side project, a predictive model for crypto trading I'd started for fun. My son called from college every few days, his voice crackling through the phone. "You okay, Dad?" he'd ask. "I'm fine," I'd say, not wanting to burden him. He was studying for midterms, chasing his own dreams. My ex-wife sent a text once, asking if I needed anything. I didn't reply. 4 years after our divorce, we kept things civil but distant. The house felt emptier without them, but I wasn't one for self-pity. I had my laptop, my backup files, and a growing sense that Pinnacle would come crawling back. 6 weeks after my exit, my phone rang on a Thursday afternoon. I was in my kitchen, sipping coffee, when the screen lit up. Emily Carter, Pinnacle Financial Solutions. I let it ring a beat too long before answering. "Hello, Emily." Her voice, usually sharp and commanding, sounded strained. "Matthew, I hope you're well. We're having some issues with the trading systems, and our team's struggling to pinpoint the cause. Could you consult for us? Just a quick look." I leaned back in my chair, picturing the chaos in the data center. "What kind of issues?" I asked, keeping my tone neutral. "Random trade failures," she said. "Error codes we can't trace. We're losing about 15% of our daily transactions." I closed my eyes. The main trading platform. I'd warned the team about its error detection module last spring. It needed a manual recalibration before the fall market surge. "And quantum analytics?" I asked. A pause. "They're still getting familiar with our systems," Emily admitted. "I'm sure they'll sort it out eventually." I let the silence hang. "Eventually," I repeated. "You're implementing a full AI overhaul, right? Cutting edge, self-learning." Emily cleared her throat. "Matthew, this is impacting the whole team. Clients are complaining. We could lose accounts if this continues." She was good, tugging at my loyalty to the analysts I'd trained, but I remembered their silence when I was escorted out. "I'm available," I said finally. "My rate is $300 per hour, 4-hour minimum, paid up front. I'll need a signed contract specifying the scope." A sharp intake of breath. "That's more than double your old salary rate." "It's my consulting rate," I said. "Take it or leave it." Another pause. "I'll need to get approval. Can I call you back?" "Sure," I said, and hung up. She called back in 40 minutes. They agreed to my terms. I drove to Pinnacle the next morning, signed in as a visitor at the front desk, and felt the weight of curious stares as a security guard escorted me to the data center. The trading platform was down, screens flashing red error codes, analysts scrambling to reroute transactions manually. Quantum analytics techs hovered around the servers, their laptops open, their faces tense. Stephen spotted me from across the room and broke into a grin. "Thank God you're here, man." I nodded, setting my laptop on a workstation. Emily stood nearby, her arms crossed, her expression a mix of relief and discomfort. "What do you need?" she asked. "Full access to the trading platform's core module," I said, and my laptop connected to the system. She hesitated, then nodded. "Whatever you need." It took me 22 minutes to diagnose the issue. The error detection module had drifted, just as I'd predicted. Quantum's AI had tried to optimize it, overriding my custom settings and throwing the whole system into chaos. The fix required my original calibration files, stored on my personal drive. I made a show of scrolling through folders, knowing exactly where to look. The quantum techs whispered behind me. "Should have been documented somewhere," one muttered. "What a mess." I bit back a smile. 38 minutes later, the platform was back online, trades flowing smoothly, error codes gone. Analysts returned to their desks, and the data setter's hum settled into its familiar rhythm. Emily approached, her posture stiff. "Thank you, Matthew. That was faster than we expected." "Happy to help," I said, closing my laptop. "Anything else?" She hesitated, glancing at the quantum techs. "We're seeing some anomalies in the predictive models for client portfolios. Small discrepancies, but they're adding up. Could you take a look while you're here?" I checked my watch. "That's outside our contract scope. I'd need a new agreement." Her jaw tightened. "You're already here, Matthew. Be reasonable." "I am being reasonable," I said, packing my bag. "You made this a business decision when you cut my role. Email me if you want another consultation." As I walked out, Stephen caught up with me near the elevators. "It's not just the trading platform," he said quietly. "The whole system's shaky. Client reports are off by 10%. We're getting complaints daily." I nodded, saying nothing. "Quantum's in over their heads, aren't they?" he asked. "Looks that way," I said. Stephen lowered his voice. "You knew this would happen, didn't you?" I met his eyes. "I didn't have to know, Stephen. I built those systems." "I know what happens when they're not handled right," he smirked. "And you're making them pay for it." I didn't answer, just pressed the elevator button. They were already paying. The calls started coming regularly after that. Every few days, Emily would reach out with another crisis. Portfolio miscalculations, data lags, client dashboards freezing. Each time I negotiated a new contract, my rate creeping up to $325, then $350. Each time I fixed only the issue they paid me for, nothing more. I wasn't vindictive, but I wasn't their charity either. 2 months after my firing, I got a different call. "Mr. Ryan, this is James Thornton, Vice President of Operations at Apex Capital." I sat up straighter, my coffee cooling on the desk. "Good afternoon, Mr. Thornton." "I'll be direct," he said. "Our Charlotte office is facing serious issues. Client losses are up 20%. We've had to refund 3 major accounts due to inaccurate reports. Emily Carter says you've been consulting on specific problems." "That's right," I said, waiting. "We'd like a longer-term arrangement. 6 months, full-time, to fix our systems and document your processes." I leaned back, processing. "And quantum analytics?" A pause. "We're reviewing that contract." Translation: they were on their way out. I let myself a moment of satisfaction before responding. "I'm open to it, but my schedule's tight. I'm talking to other firms." "Name your terms," Thornton said, his tone blunt. I named a figure, 3 times my old salary. He didn't flinch. "I'll have contracts sent over tomorrow." The next day, I walked back into Pinnacle as a contractor. Emily wasn't around. Stephen later told me she'd been sent to a smaller Apex office in Raleigh. I reconnected my laptop to the main servers and saw the damage. Quantum's AI had corrupted my algorithms, misaligning data feeds and throwing off predictions. Client reports were riddled with errors, costing millions in refunds. But the real shock came when I accessed the management server. In a folder labeled Strategic Initiatives, I found Emily's original proposal to Apex executives. It outlined replacing me with quantum analytics to save $250,000 a year. It admitted a potential 5% increase in error rates during the transition, called it acceptable for cost savings. Emily hadn't just cut me to modernize. She'd gambled on client trust to pad her budget, and she'd lost. I called Stephen into my temporary office, showed him the file. He whistled. "She had it out for you from the start." "Not just me," I said. "The clients, the data, everything Pinnacle built its name on." He shook his head. "What's your plan?" "Fix it," I said. "Then make sure this never happens again." I stood in my temporary office at Pinnacle Financial Solutions, staring at the server logs on my laptop screen. 2 months into my 6-month consulting contract with Apex Capital, I'd seen the full extent of the damage quantum analytics had caused. Their AI had mangled my trading algorithms, misaligned data feeds, and thrown client reports so far off that nearly 20% of transactions failed quality checks. Clients were pulling accounts, and Apex was bleeding money, millions in refunds and lost contracts. I wasn't surprised. My systems were built to last, but they needed someone who understood their quirks, their limits. Quantum didn't. Neither did Emily Parter, who'd gambled on their shiny promises to save a quick buck. I started with the critical systems, high-frequency trading platforms, and client portfolio models. Using my personal backups, I restored the original calibrations, rewrote corrupted code, and ran diagnostics on every server. Within 2 weeks, error rates dropped from 20% to under 5%. Transaction speeds climbed back to normal. The data center hummed like it used to, a sound I knew better than my own voice. But I didn't stop there. Each night, after the analysts left, I worked on something new, a system I called FinTrack, short for Financial Transaction and Reporting Analytics Core. Officially, it was a management platform to integrate Pinnacle's data systems with real-time oversight. Unofficially, it was my insurance policy, a way to make sure no one could ever dismiss my work again. FinTrack wasn't just a patch, it was a complete overhaul, linking every piece of Pinnacle's operations, trading platforms, client dashboards, error logs, even compliance reports. It showed real-time performance metrics, predicted system failures before they happened, and calculated the true cost of every transaction, including losses from errors or delays. Most importantly, it gave executives a clear view of what was happening on the ground. No more hiding behind cost-cutting proposals that tanked quality. I built it to be transparent, reliable, and, crucially, dependent on my expertise to maintain. 4 weeks into my contract, I requested a meeting with James Thornton, Apex's Vice President of Operations, and the remaining management team. I stood in their conference room, my laptop hooked to a projector, the Charlotte skyline visible through the windows. "The immediate issues are resolved," I began, clicking to a slide showing the past 3 months' data. Red lines spiked, error rates, client complaints, refund costs, all climbing after Quantum's takeover, then plummeting since I'd returned. "But you have a deeper problem," Thornton leaned forward, his tie loose, his face serious. "Go on, Mr. Ryan." I switched slides, showing how Emily's cost-cutting had hidden critical metrics from the board. "Your oversight was blind," I said. "Decisions were made without understanding their impact on clients or systems. That's why you're here now." The room was quiet, the air thick with tension. I clicked to FinTrack's interface, its clean dashboard displaying live data, transaction accuracy, system uptime, client satisfaction scores. "This is my solution," I said. "Full integration of your operations, real-time visibility for executives, predictive maintenance, and complete transparency. No more surprises." Thornton studied the screen. "This would have caught the issues with Quantum?" he asked. "It would have made them impossible to ignore," I replied. "You could still prioritize cost over quality, but you'd see the consequences up front." I walked them through FinTrack's features, how it monitored server performance, flagged anomalies in trading patterns, and estimated losses from even minor errors. I showed them a cost breakdown, every failed transaction, every refunded client, every hour of downtime. "How long to implement?" Thornton asked. 3 months for full integration," I said. "The core is already built." A manager in the back spoke up, his voice skeptical. "And who maintains it after?" This was my moment. "I would," I said, "under a long-term consulting agreement, 2 days a week on-site. My company, Ryan Data Solutions, would own FinTrack and license it to Apex with full support and updates." Thornton raised an eyebrow. "Your company?" I nodded. Ryan Data Solutions, my new firm. I hadn't filed the paperwork yet, but they didn't need to know that. The skeptical manager frowned. Sounds expensive. I clicked to a final slide, showing Apex's losses from the past 3 months. $3.8 million in refunds, canceled contracts, and emergency fixes. Compare that to this, I said, pointing to my proposed fees, $350,000 annually for consulting, plus a $150,000 yearly license for FinTrack. Total, $500,000. Less than a sixth of what you just lost, I said. The room went silent. Thornton nodded slowly. You've thought this through, Mr. Ryan. I'll take it to the board. As I left the meeting, Stephen Brooks was waiting outside, sipping coffee from a paper cup. How'd it go? He asked, following into step beside me. We'll see, I said. Either they value this or they don't. He smirked. After this mess, they'll bite. I stopped at my office door. By the way, I'll need a lead consultant for Ryan Data Solutions, someone who knows these systems, these people. You in? Stephen blinked, then grinned. You're serious? Dead serious, I said. I'm done building someone else's success. Time to build my own. A week later, Thornton called. Apex approved FinTrack not just for Charlotte, but for all 5 of their U.S. offices. I signed the contracts, officially launched Ryan Data Solutions, and got to work. Over the next month, I rolled out FinTrack across Pinnacle systems. I started with the trading platforms, integrating them with client-facing dashboards, then moved to compliance and reporting modules. Error rates fell to under 1%, better than Pinnacle's best days under my old models. Client complaints dropped. 2 major accounts that had threatened to leave renewed their contracts. But the real turning point came when I dug deeper into the management server. In a subfolder labeled Confidential, I found more of Emily Carter's files. One was a memo to Quantum Analytics, dated a month before my firing. It outlined consulting fees she'd receive for securing their contract with Apex, $50,000 up front plus a percentage of their annual deal. Emily hadn't just cut me to save money, she'd sold out Pinnacle Systems for a personal payout. I forwarded the memo to Stephen, who was now my right-hand man at Ryan Data Solutions. She played dirty, he said, shaking his head, and now she's gone. I nodded. Not just her, the whole approach. Word came a week later, Emily Carter was fired. Not reassigned, terminated. James Thornton called to confirm. We found evidence of a conflict of interest with Quantum Analytics, he said. She's out, effective immediately. I kept my tone neutral. I see. Thornton continued. We're also implementing a new policy. All cost-saving plans must include impact assessments on system performance and client outcomes. We're calling it the Ryan Protocol. I looked out my office window at the data center below, where analysts worked confidently, their screens glowing with FinTrack's metrics. That's a good step, I said. It's because of you, Thornton added. Your system showed us what we were missing. I thanked him and hung up, a quiet satisfaction settling in. 6 months later, I stood in a new office in downtown Charlotte, the Catawba River glinting outside. Ryan Data Solutions had grown to 15 employees, engineers, analysts, and support staff. Stephen led our on-site teams, overseeing FinTrack's implementation across Apex's offices. We'd signed contracts with 3 other fintech firms in the past quarter, all drawn to our reputation for bridging old systems with modern analytics. Industry blogs started mentioning us, calling Ryan Data Solutions the firm that saved Pinnacle from collapse. A trade magazine ran a cover story, The Data Gap, How Ryan Data Solutions Redefined FinTech Reliability. An invitation arrived to speak at a national FinTech conference, one Emily had once keynoted. I smiled, setting it on my desk beside a framed photo of my son at his college orientation. He'd started his sophomore year, now talking about joining my firm after graduation. "You didn't just bounce back, Dad," he'd said over dinner last month. "You built something bigger than they ever imagined." On a cool spring morning, a year after my firing, I got a call from Richard Hayes, Pinnacle's founder. He was retired but consulting on a potential buyback of the company from Apex. We met in my conference room, his gray hair and easy smile unchanged from the day he'd hired me. "I heard what you did, Matthew," he said, looking around my office. "You saved my company and made it better." I shook my head. "I just made sure they valued what matters." He leaned forward. "I'm meeting with Apex next week. I want your advice. How to modernize without losing what made Pinnacle great." I nodded. No longer an employee, but a partner. No longer replaceable, but essential. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's becoming something they never saw coming. I stood in my office, watching the river, knowing every line of code, every system, every success tied back to me. Emily thought she could erase 15 years of my work. Instead, I built an empire from her mistake, and I was just getting started.